Next, we go to SMU. And before we start SMU, I would like to say that this win total kind of like threw me off after I like finished their preview. I was like 8.5. That's it. But hey, I ain't Vegas.
I can see that. That's fair.
I thought at least it was gonna be like 10.5 or 9.5. But
I get
either
carried
way,
away.
let's get into it. SMU coming off of a season where they went 11-3, 8-0 in conference. Now they didn't play Clemson until the conference championship game where they lost, but it was a close game, like I said. They lost the ACC title game. They did lose in the first round of the college football playoffs, 38-10 to Penn State. They got in. Bama fans were butthurt about that, crying like I didn't lose to Vandy, and then you get okay. Side tangent. You get butthurt about losing. I mean, not making the CFP. You then play Michigan, who has no passing game whatsoever, and lose in the ReliaQuest Bowl and get dominated at that.
Yeah. It
And
was
Jalen
bad.
Milroe played. Your
It
guys
was
played. You lost. So
that's not how you want to end the first season post Nick Saban.
no. And Cannon DeBoer is my guy, but like I was hoping they won, but I wasn't too. I was mad. I was about to lie because it was Michigan. The only reason why I was so mad they lost it was because it was Michigan. If it was anybody else, I'd have laughed at Bama, but had to be Michigan. But anyway, they returned 8 starters on offense. I mean, 8 starters in general. 6 on offense, 2 on defense. They returned Kevin Jennings, the most notable starter in my opinion. 247 of 380, 65%, 3,245 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. Now, mind you, this is also with him splitting time in the first 2 to 3 games with Preston Stone before they turned to Kevin Jennings, as the permanent starter. It was really after the BYU game. They just said, all right, we're going with Kevin Jennings. 101 carries, 384 yards, and 5 touchdowns. I lost $1 in that BYU game. I was so mad. Me and my dad bet. I was at his house. Return RJ Maryland at tight end, 24 catches, 359 yards for 4 touchdowns. They returned Romello Brinson, wide receiver with 13 catches, 135 yards. They returned Deuce Hartman at cornerback, 31 total tackles, 20 solos, 8 pass breakups, and an interception. And Isaiah Wachovia, 100 total tackles, 53 solos, half a sack, 3 pass breakups, and 3 interceptions as safety. Now, a big name they lost was Brashard Smith at running back. He was like heaven sent for them last season. 235 carries, 1,332 yards, 5.7 a carry, 14 total touchdowns. 14 touchdowns, 39 catches for 327 yards and 4 touchdowns. And he goes to the Chiefs. Like, come on, bro. We serious. They lost Preston Stone, transferred quarterback to Northwestern. 30 of 51, 58.8% completion percentage, 421 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And they lost Roger Daniels at wide receiver, 42 catches, 663 yards, 4 touchdowns. They returned Jordan Hudson, wide receiver, 39 catches, 422 yards, 5 touchdowns. They lost Kobe Wilson, linebacker, 117 total tackles, 54 solos, 3 sacks, 2 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, touchdown, and forced fumble. Elijah Roberts, they lose him off the edge, 35 total tackles, 17 solos, 7.5 sacks, a pass breakup, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Now on the Bucks, they lose Joffrey Harvey, edge rusher, 31 total tackles, 15 solos, 7.5 sacks, pass breakup, 2 forced fumbles, fumble recovery. Now also on the Raiders, and they returned Ahmad Moses, safety, 73 total tackles, 38 solos, 6 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, touchdown, and a forced fumble. They have the 34th overall recruiting class. I lost my 42nd in transfers. Ace talked to me about Rhett Lashley and SMU.
Yeah, so obviously I think Rhett Lashlee is a great coach. I think he's a guy who's offensive scheme wise is one of the better coaches in the nation. He really knows how to get the most out of his quarterbacks. It seems like he makes the schemes easy for them to digest and make decisions out of, even with it being like a, a air raid kind of offense that's going to come with most of the facilitation of the offense going through the quarterback, dispersing it wherever he sees fit. And that's cool. I think that they do lose a lot going into the next year. They lose a lot on the defensive line. They
For
lose
sure.
Rashard Smith, who was for sure their biggest playmaker. A guy that I wish that we could have kept, but things go how
That'd have
they
been Gluttony.
go. Yeah, sure. It would have. It would have. It would have, but I'm a glutton anyway. Um, but yeah, they have Chris Johnson Jr. transferring in from us, who
Facts.
maybe he'll help bolster that running back room and find some I don't know if balance is the word or just production by committee. However they choose to do it, they have to find a way to replicate some of that explosiveness in the run game that they had last year. Obviously, Kevin Jennings has the keys to the team, as he should. But I think it's also funny that Tyler Van Dyke just happened to
I didn't get that.
transfer.
I
It
swear I
makes
don't
no
get
sense to
that.
me. I mean, you was better off staying at Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yeah, or going group
Makes
of
no sense to
five.
me. Yes, that's honestly probably what you really should have did. But I mean, I don't know. Like, the best that we've seen Tyler Van Dyke was with Red Lashley.
He's not
So
getting in. He's not getting over Kevin Jennings.
yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to like put myself in his shoes and understand why. Like, okay, maybe he's comfortable with the guy. Not that he's wishing it, but maybe Kevin gets injured or whatever the case may be. Like something will happen that he'll play some of the game. But
New
yeah,
Mexico, here I
definitely
come.
not.
That'd have been me.
Right. But other than that, I think that this team is I really don't know what to make of this team. Like last year, they surprised a lot of people. I don't think that they're going to surprise people this year. I think that certain position groups, particularly the front seven, have lost the leadership and the talent that they've had. Maybe they can supplement that with, maybe the secondary. I don't know because I'm sure that the secondary is pretty young, but I think they may be a secondary with like, some speed and some length that is usually the kind of corners and safeties that people like to have these
Mhm.
days for obvious reasons because they're so versatile. But I don't know. I know it's Red Lashley's like third or fourth year there. He's had two double-digit win seasons there. I know he wants to continue that momentum, but I just don't know, man. I don't know.
I feel you. They definitely lose a lot, like you said, with Brashard Smith for sure. But I think, like you said, the balance of Chris Johnson Jr. and TJ Harden from UCLA, I think that's going to be a big, big thing with them. Because not for nothing, Brashard Smith was very explosive, but he also can run between the tackles. He was a tough guy to bring
Hmm.
down as well. And I think that's what
Yeah.
TJ Harden brings from UCLA, a guy that can run between the tackles. Is going to be a tough guy to bring down. Um, so yeah, I do think that it would be more of a two-man show at running back instead of a one-man leading the army like Rashard Smith did. I think they'll be solid at receiver. I think they'll be fine really at receiver. Especially again, quarterback's best friend, tight end. Who they have, they
RJ
got
Maryland.
continuity with RJ Maryland. So
Hmm.
that's good there. Defensively, I can agree with you having questions there, especially when you lose the production at edge. 15 sacks between two guys for sure. I'm with you on that. Can the secondary hold up? Can they find guys to get to the quarterback to replace that production? I am with you on that, but I think SMU is going to be so good offensively they could win a shootout if need be. I.e., Miami of last season. I
Hmm.
don't think it's going to be that bad defensively, though. No offense. I do think they do have some guys. They have some pieces to it. They'll be fine. Especially like I said, Isaiah Wacobia. I do like him at safety a lot, and Deuce Harmon as well at cornerback. I think those are two really solid pieces. If you could just get another guy on the opposite end of Deuce Harmon, and like I said, just rush the quarterback. If you can find a way to build that front seven to where the quarterbacks don't have all day in the pocket, I think SMU should be just fine. Plus, SMU's not for nothing, they're not really a super defensive team. They're more of an offensive team that can get stops, if you get what I'm saying. So, and Red Lashley, the last two seasons have made the conference championship game. He won one in the American. He lost one in the ACC. So, I do like the
Yeah.
Yamir Knight transfer at wide receiver from James Madison, 53 catches, 605 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And the Jahai Long transfer off the edge from Mizzou. He played in 7 games, but had 13 total tackles, 7 solos, and 3 sacks. So hopefully he's looking to be one of the guys who replace the production there. SMU was 27th in total offense, 26th in total defense, 31st in passing, 55th in rushing, 8th in scoring offense, 79th in passing defense, 7th in rushing defense, which again has to do with a lot with that front seven, and 32nd in scoring defense. If you're ready, I can read some comments and then we'll go to the schedule.
Yes, sir. I do want to say just one thing. I do think that um, the experience that they had last year, especially going to Penn State in the college football playoff and playing a hard game against Clemson, like that has to give a team some grit and some believability that they can go back to those places and play better in those stages. So, I think that does matter to this team, and I don't think it's something to be discounted.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you for sure. Now the Penn State game, whew, boy,
It was
Kevin Jennings,
bad, but
Kevin
you got
Jennings
to
had it
get there
rough.
to see how you gonna
Yeah,
go.
I think Kevin Jennings threw like two pick
Also,
sixes
true
in that game.
freshman. Yeah, but also a true freshman in that game, playing in a hostile environment. You know what I mean? It's not unreasonable that Kevin Jennings didn't have the best game.
Oh, for sure, I seen it coming for sure,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
against a top tier elite college football defense in Penn State. So
right.
they had Abdul Carter. I keep forgetting the name of the guy on the opposite side of Abdul. He got drafted too though, but
hmm
yeah, they had elite defense. My uncle says leave Michigan alone. Y'all just so happen to be caught in the crossfire. I'm not worried about y'all.
Yeah,
And he laughed because I was talking about the BYU bet. I lost to my dollar. I made that dollar back though. I bet against Texas, Michigan, and
it's a
Texas
dollar.
absolutely destroyed it. So I got my dollar back. But anyway, let's go into the schedule. SMU starts off the year with East Texas A&M. I have as a W.
W.
Now this is a game that I feel like is going to be slept on, but I think this game might be fire. They play at home against Baylor. I have SMU winning, but I think that game's going to be fire.
SMU winning as well, but I think Baylor is going to be one of those teams that is going to surprise a lot of folks.
Yeah, Baylor ended the season kind of hot last season. At Missouri State, new FBS school, I have that as a win.
Win.
At TCU, I have as an L.
I have as the L, first L of the season on the road. It makes sense.
Yup. And man, TCU SMU games normally do be a banger. Next we have Syracuse at home. I have as a win.
That's a win as well.
Stanford at home. I have as a win.
That's a win.
At Clemson, I have as an L.
That's an L.
At Wake Forest, I have as a win.
That's a win.
At home against Miami, I have as a win.
That was a loss.
At Boston College, I have as a win.
That was a win.
At home against Louisville, I have as a win.
I had that as a loss.
And at Cal, I have as a win.
That was a win.
So I have SMU going 10-2, 7-1. I have the over 8.5 win total for SMU. The pony.
Yes, I have SMU going 8-4 over the
You got the
no,
under.
no, that's actually that's
The
yeah,
under.
that's under.
The hook.
That's under. The hook. Sorry, SMU. Sorry, Rhett.
So you have SMU eliminated from ACC championship contention.
Yes, I have SMU as like my fourth team in the conference. I think
Very interesting, my friend. I'm not mad at it though, because I mean, Louisville definitely a game that could go either way.
yeah. Well, that's exactly what it is.
And Miami,
It's just that I think Louisville will be just an inch ahead of them. Then my brain says Clemson, us, Louisville, SMU, everybody else.
they played three of the top teams in the ACC this year: Clemson, Miami, and Louisville. So those
They're
are all
definitely
reasonable
gonna they're
games.
definitely gonna have to prove it. They're
Yeah.
gonna have to prove it this year.
They got a
for
chance
sure.
for sure. Next, Stanford.